All right, here we go, folks. So this is what we're looking for. We're going to start this program, and you see what's happening with this program is putting all this information, all this data. We get the sums and we get the averages, and then when we get to the last bar, it gives us this information right here, 3904, which is the sum, right? So we ran our program here. It sent the information over to Excel. We did computations in Excel, and then it shot it back to TradeStation. So we're going to get into that, how we did that, just in a moment. All right, folks. So bear with me for a little bit while I try to get my, while I try to get all these stations and everything set up. And yeah, just know that I got it together. And so I'm pretty much going to start from scratch. I don't have. I'll tell you what. Let me pause this for a minute, and then I'm going to make some notes so you can see exactly what I'm talking about doing. Okay, so here we go. Here's a Microsoft Word file that just kind of generally shows you what we're talking about doing. We're talking about making calculations using Excel. So you can obviously make calculations with TradeStation, and that's fine. You can make them with Excel. That's fine. I'm not sure which one suits you the best, or I don't know, but I like having options, and I know that Excel can handle a large amount of data, and it handles it fairly quickly. TradeStation, I think it does really good. I think TradeStation has a lot to do on every bar, and so I don't think it's a bad idea to export some of the work, or outsource the work, contract the work. That's what businesses. That's what happens all the time. So anyway, it's just getting a little bit of help. And when you have enough storage on your system, when you have enough processing power and RAM and all that kind of stuff, then I think you can afford to do that. So anyway, I'm just going to clear the format here. And part of this is coming to me just because, like I said, I'm learning a little bit more about data science, data analytics, and that kind of thing. And it's drawn me to VBA with macros. So as I was working and studying with it this morning, I said, well, let me do this, because I've been thinking about doing this anyway. So essentially what I did here was I pulled ranges of every bar. And then after I got the ranges, then I summed all the ranges, and then I gave the average. So I'm not going to do quite the same thing here. I'm going to try to do something that might be a little bit more useful, that you might consider to be more useful. And let's see what we get. So let's come over to this. So essentially what I'm going to look for here on a 5-minute chart, I'm going to look for when we have swing lows. And then I'm going to say, all right, well, when we have swing lows, what is the maybe I should look for like the total range, because I've done something similar to this before where I looked for like the range of the last bar. I'm going to look for the total range of all the bars prior to that swing, right? So if we get something like, these aren't necessarily the best examples, but they are what they are. All right, so you see we have this swing low here. It's the swing low of multiple bars on the left, multiple bars on the right. So if we have the swing low, I want to say, all right, well, and you can do whatever you want to do, really, but I'm going to say if I have a swing low of 5 bars on one side and the other, then what is the total range? Or maybe not including the wicks. Yeah, not including the wicks. Let's just do the body. Anyway, I don't know what the best thing to look for is, so we're just going to do something so I can show you how this works. All right, so I'm going to say, all right, well, what is the total of the body of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars? Okay, so let's get this out of here. All right, and this is essentially the information, the code that I had from before. So we're going to get this all out of here. How come? Control A. There we go. All right. So we're going to verify that. So everything comes out of here. So again, EL system. And to get access to Excel, EL system office.excel. Okay, and that'll give us access to a workbook. WKBK initially is null. I think we do need a count here, and it doesn't need to be inch-bar persist. So, oh, and we also need something for our swings, swing lows. Okay, so and swing low is going to be equal to swing low of, we can have an input here, input, strength, and we'll have it, I'm going to put it 5. That's the strength here. And if SL is greater than 0, then that's when we need to sum. We need to sum all the information. So then X sum. That is a method. That's why it looks like that. Method void X sum. I don't know if I want to return here or not. No, I'm not going to return here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and print it off to the workbook. So in order to use the workbook, let's go ahead and do one statement at the beginning so we can kind of instantiate the workbook. WKBK equals workbook.create WKBK dot file name. Might already have it saved. Nope. All right, so we need to go back to the workbook. That is here. No, this isn't the workbook. We put it here. Open this up. Sheet 2. So we go to File and then Info. Here's how we get our path. Uh-oh. Put it right there. Workbook dot load equals true, and then we need to get the active sheet, which will be the second sheet, and then workbook dot save on close is going to be equal to true. All right, so all that stuff is just kind of basic. Okay, so now when we do find a new swing low, then we're going to come here and we're going to send the values, right? So we need to understand what's going on with the swing low. When we have the swing low, so if we have it a 5-bar strength, then it's going to be identified out here. So 5 bars from here, so 5 bars back is the start or the actual low. So we need to go from that point back 5 more bars so we can get this value here. Okay, so if we do have a new swing low, integer IDX, so that's our index. So we need to start at least 5 bars back, right? So 4 IDX is equal to, and now this index is going to be the number of bars back that we're using essentially. So for index is equal I strength, which is that number of bars back. And then we're just going to go from that number of bars back, which will be our swing point low, to another strength bars before that. So for I strength, for index is equal I strength to I strength times 2. Begin. And what are we going to do? We're going to add them. We're going to add it up. So because we don't need the summation outside of this, because we're just going to go ahead and print it over to Excel, we can say sum, make this a double, sum, better make it X sum, or I'm going to call it Y sum. Okay, Y sum is plus equal to range of index. So this is going to take the range of whatever index we're in. We're going to add it to Y sum, and then when we come back through for another loop, we're going to add that to Y sum, and then add it again. And then by the time we get to the end of this for loop, we're going to go ahead and send this over to Excel. So we need to put it on one of the lines in Excel. So it'll be workbook dot sheets of 2 dot sales as double is going to be equal to, excuse me, and we need to put the location, so it'll be just the first row and then a certain column. It'll be column of count, but it'll be module level count. Module level count will be equal to y sum. Okay, now module level count needs to change every time we add a new one to it. So after we add a new one to it, we're going to plus equal 1. That way it'll go down to the next row. So this will be m count. Okay, m count y sum da da da. Okay, I think that's just good enough for it to work. Y sheets sales as double 1 m count y sum. Okay, so no errors with that. All right, let me see. I feel like it's not liking our call to the sheet. There we go. All right, so it sent. Let me make sure that it sent new information over. Let's just erase all this. I'm gonna erase it all. I'm gonna erase all this. We're gonna come over here and clear. Clear the formats. Now save it. Get smaller. Come back over here. Turn it off and turn it back on so that it reruns. Okay, and you see it did rerun, so this is all new data. Okay, so now with that new data, what we're going to do, and you see it did it just fine, right? So 1 on the first line, and then it just moves on down. Okay, and we have as many as 251 rows, so we're just going to take this next one and say sum average. Sum is going to be the sum of that row. Average is going to be average of that row. Okay, now you have to save this, because if you don't save this and then you rerun your program, it's going to actually it's going to run back over all of this. So this might still be here, but it's going to run over top of this. So, and if you have a save on close, then it'll probably get rid of this. Okay, so we have our average, and our average is at D2. So 1, 2, 3, 4 rows over, 2 rows down, D2. So let's open this back up. So we're just going to say if we're the last bar on the chart, if last bar on the chart, and workbook dot sheets of 2 dot sales as double of D2 is greater than 0, then print that same value, then once print it. We don't need to keep printing on every single bar. Okay. All right, so we need to show kind of everything going on here. All right, so you see here, this is the Excel spreadsheet, and then here is your file. So we're just going to clear the print log. Okay, turn off the program. All right, and you see when I turned it off, it got rid of Excel, right? Because it did a save on close. So when you close this file, it closes that too. So hopefully we didn't lose everything. But here we go. We're going to turn it back on. When it turned it back on, it opened this back up. It's going through, it's doing all its calculations, and then it gave us a 12.88. Okay, is that the new point, 12.88? Yeah, I think that is. Okay, so clear this. And then, all right, so watch this. When I'm going to put my name here. Okay. That's not really my name. That's a bunch of letters, but yeah. So there's my name there. And if I don't save this, now let's see what happens when I rerun this. Nothing on print log. Turn it off. Turn it back on. All right, when I turn it back on, it is running. It's hesitating. It's hesitating. It's hesitating. I don't know what it's doing. Well, seeming to be a little bit hung up right now. And so again, like I said, whether or not you do your computations inside of TradeStation or whether or not you do it in Excel, it's going to be up to you. If you want to capture this data here in a format like this, depending on what you're doing, you might want to do it in Excel. But TradeStation, EasyLanguage, it's really quick. So I mean, it could do this. It could do this computation in the blink of an eye. I better do it quicker than Excel actually. But I mean, there's just another way that you can do it. Or if you need to take something into like a visualization. What is going on here? It shouldn't take this long. So there we go. All right. All right. So I don't know why it was hung up so long, but here's your 12.88. Here is your 12.87. It's rounded up, obviously. Um, yeah, I don't know why it took so long, but if you have those kind of issues, then obviously we'll say that Excel may not be the best option. So um, maybe it has something to do with. No, I don't know. All right, just for curiosity, I'm gonna, and we still kept the Eric though, so I guess that's fine. I'm gonna turn this off. I'm gonna turn this off, and then turn it back on. All right, clear that. Turn it back. Turn it. All right, so when I did that, I lost the spreadsheet here. Let's turn it back on. This pops up. Okay, now that was pretty quick, right? So I mean that is quick. So again, I don't know what happened with that hang up there, but again, it's not a perfect science. So this is just saying that out of all these swing lows that we had here, that when you add up the 5 bars leading down to the swing lows, you get this kind of sum on your ranges. Now, if you wanted to change that instead of range, if you want to do the body, then I'll tell you what, let's do that. Instead of the range, let's have another one. Y sum of body plus equals body of the index. And this will just give you an idea of how long the wicks are of those bars compared to the body. All right, and so we're going to just copy this, paste that. We're going to do the same sheet. We're going to do the second row and then the same line. Instead of y sum, it'd be y sum body. So we need a new variable there, y sum body. Okay, and m count plus 1, that's fine. Okay, let's verify that. Okay, and already that quick, we got all of our values here. All right, so let's get a new sum and a new average. Sum body equals sum over here, average. Average is the average of these. Okay, I'm just going to save this. Boom. Okay, so you see here for the sum of the total of the body, you get 32, 32. And then for the the sum of the entire range, we get 32.32, and for the body, we get 15.74, which is approximately half. So that means that of those candles, somehow we end up getting about half of the range is the body. Half of the range is wicks, which is very interesting. Okay, and then as far as the average body range, the average body range is also about half. Okay, let's just really quickly, only because I'm interested in it. I want to see what that. Hmm. Can we do? No, for a scatter plot, we need both the x and the y-axis. I don't know of any kind of chart we can do with this. Well, I guess it's using the number as the x-axis. So does that say anything? Does that do anything for you? That doesn't do a lot for me. Obviously, what's down here toward the bottom is more concentrated, and it looks like there's more of a concentration in this range here and at the bottom, right? And then here it's just at the bottom, but at the bottom, so it's saying most often the range is less than 10. So if we come back over here, and then if we are looking at this information here, and we say, after we get done plotting and everything, we'll say if, I think both of them were, this one was less than 10, this one is less than 5, this was the second one. Okay, that's right, because it was half. So I'm going to say if y sum is less than 5, it's less than 10, and y sum b is less than 5, then plot 1 at the low. Okay, and then we're going to go back over to the chart. And we'll see what the chart thinks about this. Double click on that. Style, crosses, boom. And this is how you use a little bit of data analysis to help give you an idea. And obviously, so just because you use data does not mean that it's useful data, right? So yeah, just kind of looking at this, it doesn't look like it gives a lot. And one of the things that I typically do, and I can sit here and play with this for a while, but one of the things that I typically do is, instead of just doing this on all data, I might, because the market is different during different times. So instead of doing this just here, I might just go to the US market sessions, right? So if it's greater than that, if we have a swing low and it's Eric's market, then do it. Okay. Okay, and then when we redo it, the numbers change a little bit. Instead of being what, like 30, what was it, 30 and 15? This changed to like 36 and 17, which is a little bit different. As far as the ratio or the percentage, I want to see this over this. So it's less than 50%, whereas before it was right at 50% or greater. And also, these values are probably, there's less. So we're going to save this, and then we're going to rerun it. All right, rerun it. Okay, now when we reran it, this looks way different. All right, let's format the axis. Maximum is 300. Can we do auto? Okay, so now all this, none of this really has much of a, I can't tell much of a distribution or cluster or anything like that. I'm sure you could run a line through here. It looks like a line probably goes down this way. But because this is kind of like based on a time series analysis, I don't think I would trust this descending line. I wouldn't trust that. I wouldn't trust that. I wouldn't trust anything here. So there's nothing that I see here just visually looking at it that says, oh yeah, that I see any clustering or anything. Maybe right in here. I don't know. I don't think so. But if so, let's say that this is less than 20. So let's go back over here. But I don't see anything. There's nothing to tell there. This is less than 20. I think this would give us a lot of instances though. Yeah. Nah, not so much. But anyway, guys, I had a pretty good time doing this little video here. So hopefully you guys got a little something out of it. And if not, you just got a chance to kind of hang out with me. Anyways, by all means, leave a like, subscribe, comment, share, join us on Discord, or just come back for the next video. Anyways, my name is Eric. I'm out.